If you actually had AI, it would have automatically corrected my spelling errors. Because for any asset, for any portfolio that has a lot of assets in it, the average of the idiosyncratic surprises is zero, okay, or very close to zero. Theoretically, it's zero, exactly zero, if number of assets is infinite. But trust me, after 1,000, it doesn't matter too much. In fact, if you do the following experiment, suppose you have 10,000 stocks available. Step one, randomly pick a stock, one stock, and calculate its return. And do this a large number of times. And calculate the standard deviation of the returns you obtain this way. You get around 40% in annual terms. Step two, randomly pick two stocks and give them equal weight in a portfolio and calculate the portfolio return. And repeat this process a large number of times. And you find that standard deviation of returns you obtain is, I think, about 37%. You have the actual numbers in your book, so you can check it there. So step 1000, you keep doing this. Randomly pick 1,000 stocks among 10,000. And form an equally weighted portfolio. And calculate its return. And rinse and repeat. Standard deviation of returns obtained this way is about 19%. Again, you can look at the actual numbers from your book, but that's roughly what it is. So if you grafted This is the number of stocks in the portfolio. This is the standard deviation. So if it's 1, so that's 40%. Let me use a different color. After about 50, it doesn't make that much difference. In fact, after about 20, the variance, the standard deviation that you can achieve by adding more stocks to the portfolio, yes, it does decrease, but it's not that much. And most of the decrease happens by step 20. That number is important for stock mutual funds. There must be at least 20 stocks in the portfolio. That's by law. Certain funds say, okay, I'm going to do a hedge strategy. It's not going to be diversified. So I can have, if I want, only one stock. As long as you disclose it to the investor, that's fine. But if you're saying I'm a general, let's say, aggressive growth fund, that means I'm going to pick from stocks that are expected to have large growth rates. You still have to have at least 20 of them. They don't have to have equal weights, but you have to have at least 20 of them. That's kind of the reason behind that regulation. Most of the effect actually happens by about 10. After that, it just keeps going down, but not by much. Now, such portfolios are called diversified portfolios, which means if a bad thing happens to a few stocks, the entire portfolio is almost unaffected. You know, by nature, if something bad happens to one stock, the chances are that something good is going to happen to another stock. So on average, things are balanced. That's what we mean by law of large numbers, since they are uncorrelated. All stocks being affected by unsystematic bad stuff at the same time is extremely unlikely. It doesn't mean that it could not happen, but it's probably 1 in a quadrillion chance, or even less. If you don't know what a quadrillion is, that's 1 followed by 15 zeros. That's a lot of zeros. Now, given that, showing this is beyond the scope of this class, but if you have an undiversified portfolio, you can add more stocks into that portfolio and keep the expected return the same or higher and reduce the total risk. Example, take Netflix, okay? Let me get the data for Netflix stock. Sorry, financeyahoo.com. To make it the same, I'm gonna do from 22 2000. Apparently it doesn't exist before that. Come on, cancel. Max. Just gonna get a rough idea. Oh, I was wondering. I knew Netflix existed in 2000. Apparently it didn't. So if you had $1 invested into Netflix, or $1.21 invested into Netflix on 20th of May in 2002, that would have been 338 now. And that's a reduced number, by the way. It was as high as 700 something. Anyway, let's find %7. Let's kind of do it here. Netflix average standard deviation. Oh, I'm sorry.